Gimenez. He's a member of the Armed Services and Homeland Security Committees. He's also a member of the Select Committee on the Strategic Competition between the U.S. and the CCP. Congressman, good morning.
Good morning.
You just returned from Taiwan. That's one issue when it comes to China, but I want to focus in on what we're learning now from this investigative piece by the Wall Street Journal. What's most concerning is that this says that the FBI and the Department of Defense and other agencies reviewed all of this last year. At what point did you hear about Chinese nationals posing as tourists trying to get onto military bases?
Just recently, I guess just like you did. I'm interested in reading the Wall Street Journal, report. It doesn't surprise me at all that the Chinese are using this and other types of tactics in order to spy on our bases. And this is low-level kind of spying, but on the ground. But it's still, spying nonetheless.
Well, the other thing here is that we've got, obviously, with the G20 summit, we're now learning that Xi Jinping is not going to be going to G20. At the same time, you've had 4 officials from the Biden administration, you can count John Kerry as a pseudo-official, that have gone over there repeatedly to, broker a better relationship with the Chinese. They've done nothing but thumb their nose at us over these last few days, in particular, with some comments coming from their one of their ministry departments. So I guess my question here is, at one point, does the Biden administration or you and your colleagues in the House finally start to press down on the continuing incursion of China into the United States, from the balloon to now?
Well, look, that's all that is in the president's wheelhouse. We can legislate, we can certainly express our opinion, but the actions that are necessary are actually actions that the president needs to take. And the president, all he does and his administration is kowtow to the Chinese, beg them for meetings, beg them to please accept us coming to China so we can talk to you. And the Chinese are laughing all the way to the bank. And so, this is just an illustration of never listen to what the Biden administration tells you. Watch what they're doing. That's much more indicative of their true intentions. And in this point, they're just kneeling to the Chinese.
All right. Well, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis hammering climate change alarmists and Hurricane Idalia's aftermath over the weekend. Listen to what we just heard.
The notion that somehow hurricanes are something new, that's just false. And we've got to stop politicizing the weather and stop politicizing natural disasters. We know from history there have been times where it's been very busy in Florida, late 40s, early 50s. You had a lot of hits of significant hurricanes. But the notion that somehow if we just adopt, very left-wing policies at the federal level, that somehow we will not have hurricanes, that is a lie.
Congressman, your response to that?
Absolutely true. Look, I've looked at the history of hurricanes in Florida, and he is absolutely right. During the 40s and 50s, we had a lot greater activity than we have right now. Hurricanes are a way of life in Florida and have always been a way of life in Florida. But every single thing that ever happens, now it's climate change, climate change, climate change. The problem is, I actually look back in history, and if you look back in history, you will find that all of these events that people are now clamoring it's climate change have been going on forever. And so, hurricanes are a way of life here in Florida. We prepare for them. We deal with them, very well. It's not to say that we, shouldn't be preparing for hurricanes. We should, because it's a way of life down here. So I agree 100% with the governor and what he said.
All right. Okay. I want to move on to this new Wall Street Journal poll. It's pretty conclusive. It's very extensive. I'm going to focus on a couple of things with you. So within the poll, they found that only 37% of voters approve of President Biden's handling of the economy. 59% disapprove. Congressman, again, as we were discussing with our panel in the last segment, it is about kitchen table issues. It is about the economy, how Americans are feeling. They also feel that the president, at this point, his age is a big concern in this poll. Your reaction?
Well, I think his age is a concern because, look at him and you can tell he's somewhat feeble. He doesn't certainly exude any confidence. And so, but to me, it's not just about his age. It's about his policies. His policies are horrendous. His policies are horrendous for, here in the, in the United States, but also around the world we are not respected the way we should be respected around the world, and it's all due to President Biden and his policies. I don't think that that low approval rating is so much his age as it is his handling of the economy, and then his handling of the presidency in general, here domestically and around the world.
Well, and also, Congressman, Liz Peek is on set, and we were talking about, not just the issue of China, the G20. Liz Peek, President Biden's actually not going to be here for the 9/11 anniversary.
Yeah, that's pretty offensive. Going back, though, to this incursion of Chinese tourists visiting secure sites, they're coming across the border by the thousands now. This has never happened before. Clearly, these two things are linked, that the Chinese have decided that an open border is an invitation to bring a lot of nationals into our country to spy. I mean, is the FBI talking to you all about that?
Also coming through are not just the nationals, Chinese drugs, because the fentanyl is killing tens of thousands of Americans every single year. Those chemicals are actually, coming from China. To Mexico. They produce the fentanyl that then goes on to kill tens of thousands of Americans every single year.
Congressman Carlos Gimenez of Florida. Congressman, thank you so much for getting up with us, and we're glad to see that that folks in Florida are obviously recovering from Hurricane Idalia. That's good to see, sir. As we begin the hurricane season.
Thank you.
Good.